And hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber. Hello up there. Hello. Happy Friday, guys. Let us know if you can hear us.
I'm gonna
If
sit
you
down lower than you, that way my face isn't cut off.
that's fine. Amber's like your hat today.
Yes.
Let us know if you can hear us, if you can see us, if you can hear Amber, if you can see Amber, if there's any weird echo. Let us know. Let us know. Let's see. Hi, guys. I never make it to these, but I did.
I'm gonna steal the chat so
Yeah.
I can get any naughty Nancy's out of here. Oh, hi, Bubbers.
And we have Bubbers,
It's a full
special guest star. All right. I think that we have it. I think it's good.
Have it.
All right, well, let's start with, before we get started, Jessica asked a fantastic question. Would you like to read Jessica's question?
Where is it? How do you guys take your coffee, and do you have a fancy coffee drink? Honestly, I'll take my coffee just about any way. I don't particularly like super duper sweet coffee, but I can drink anything from black to like a little bit of creamer in it.
Well, if we're ordering from Starbucks, we normally get iced Americanos with sugar-free vanilla and coconut milk. But we are currently brewing Onyx coffee, which is super fancy. It's very good.
It's very nice.
Make sure
love it.
we French press it. We don't have a normal coffee maker. And we use sugar-free Coffee Mate coconut creamer.
Yes, I legit cannot drink Starbucks anymore.
And Amber up there, how do you take your coffee?
I currently have Nescafe Azera with just semi-skimmed milk. We don't do creamer really in Britain.
Well, there you guys go. So if you want to replicate we need to make our own coffee, like how to follow
You know
along.
what we should do is what every other YouTuber does and start our own coffee brand.
What do you guys think? Would you buy Alpha, the Friday Bean brand coffee?
Disclaimer, we're not considering doing that at the moment. That's not something that's up the pipeline, and that's like a couple $100,000 investment.
Wait.
But if enough people are interested, maybe we'll invest in something like that in the future.
Someday.
Bougie little like caramel spoons, made out of like that sponge sugar. Like
Ding, ding, ding. We'll make all of our different blends. We'll have the Friday bean. We'll have like the alpha blend, and then that's just super full of caffeine.
Amber's a bit echoey. Yeah, that's gonna happen. It's okay.
The reason that she is echoey is because we have to be able to hear her, and Mark's speakers are over there. If it's something that's so bad that you can't like understand her, let us know. It shouldn't be too bad though. That's kind of why we wanted to talk for a few minutes and make sure that everything was working well. All right.
A lot of people saying, "Yeah, go for the coffee."
Well,
Well, I'll look into it.
find somebody who would sponsor an alpha blend.
It's usually like a smaller distributor or a farm or something that sponsors people doing it. But you have to have enough
Audience and interest.
audience, and we do not.
That's true. Well, guys, share us with your friends.
Share us, like, subscribe, do what we ask you to do, man.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll get our own brand of coffee, and then we can theme that. All the nasty coffees we'll get rid of. All you people that drink the light coffees that are just like pee in a jar, get rid of that.
Yeah, you guys, that's not coffee.
That's not coffee.
That's
tea.
magical bean water. So
don't get started on tea. Don't be dissing the tea.
I have to.
gotta,
We had a whole war about this, Amber.
it is bad. It's distortive, hard to understand.
Okay.
It's probably on our end. It's probably because the speakers are up really high.
Do you want to mess
Can you
around?
get him off of me? I can't do anything with
Come
the
here,
cat.
let's
Go on, Bubs.
come here. Come here.
Nice. Go.
All right. And a couple of you have asked like why we haven't had guests on in a while. It's because YouTube changed. It used to run through Google Hangouts, and YouTube got rid of that function so that you can't just have guests directly through YouTube. You have to use a third-party application, and we have one of the best ones, and it still gives us problems. So we weren't even sure if this was going to work. In fact, I messaged Amber like while she was in bed last night and told her, okay, I think we've got it. It should work. But we also made like a backup plan in the event that the stream didn't work. So, It sounds like Amber is speaking from the heavens.
I am.
She is. She's up in the clouds.
All right, do a little ditty or something, Amber, so people can tell us if it's better.
Tell us about the first time that you had coffee.
First time I had coffee, I'm going to say that it must have been on a really cold and rainy day, because you know when you have that feeling of nostalgia when you drink coffee,
Yes.
it's normally because of a memory. And I think that it was a cold and rainy day, and I had a big mug, big chunky knit sweater, and it must have been the weakest coffee ever, because I remember really enjoying it. Normally, the first time you try coffee, you're like, but yeah, it must have been really weak, but it started the train.
There's going to be a little bit of an echo, guys, because she's in a room that's not soundproofed. That's normal.
About the same.
Yeah, that's what I've told her is headphones.
Do we have headphones?
I'm gonna go play it to see if people are just being nitpicky.
Well,
you have a conversation or do something. I'm gonna see it.
Okay, but Bubbers follows him everywhere that he goes. So, while we're waiting to get started, while Mark's trying to figure out the topic, let's go ahead and talk about who Amber is for those who are new. Amber was one of our very first Handmade Alpha Academy students, and for those who don't know what that is, it is my course that teaches you how to dominate Etsy. It's not open right now, but it will be opening again on June 14th, and there's a waiting list link down below. And Amber, we do this Alpha of the Year contest, and Amber won that. And Amber, how much have you grown since then?
Astronomically, to the point where I have now hired a virtual assistant called Lucy. I've bought a house. I have an entire studio now. I would, because I do have the funds and obviously the stock to fill it, I would actually get a location somewhere, but considering the current climate with COVID-19, I felt like it would be a bad decision. Otherwise, I would have done it. And I also got married, all off of the back of Amber Marie viral portraits. So, not many people can say that they did that with their small-time business. So I'm really proud of myself.
And if you look in the background, guys, you can kind of see, I know Amber's small, but you can see like her card rack. For those who are wondering what Amber does, thankfully did I move it? Amber, I normally keep it in here. Do you have a portrait to hold up? Because I think I moved my Amy. Do you have something laying around?
But I have a piece of paper with all the different breeds on.
Yes, Amber draws pet portraits. So scaling her business was especially difficult because people message her to draw their pets. And you might ask yourself, how the heck do you scale that? How do you stop taking custom orders when you've built your whole foundation on drawing other people's pets? So that's what we're going to be discussing today, because this year Amber messaged me and she's like, I think I'm going to quit custom orders this year. I think I'm going to stop doing them. And Amber, last we talked, you had, before you can stop doing custom orders, last we spoke, you had 200 left to do.
Yeah.
How many do you have now? Because that was like...
I'm going to cut the audio when she talks to see if it's a problem with the mic picking it up or if it's a problem with the internet. Because it sounds like there's 15 of her.
Okay.
And that wouldn't be an echo from the mic, so...
Okay.
Go ahead and talk for just like 30 seconds, Amber. I'm going to cut my audio off over here. We won't hear you.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
I had 200 pending portraits to do when I decided to stop doing commissions. And I now have 150, 160 left. Some of them are like long-time loyal fans who will wait 5 years if they have to for their portraits. Others are brand new customers that I've never dealt with before, who probably are in a bit more of a hurry to get theirs done. So we've also got Mother's Day coming up, and I know a few portraits are due for then. So I'm trying to find out which ones are a priority and get those done. so that I can spend the time on my loyal fans. I know that I don't have a so strict a deadline to be able to get it done, because otherwise I would be forever drawing. And it is getting to the point now where I'm not enjoying it because I feel like a conveyor belt rather than enjoying the process of drawing, which is what I started this business to do, was to draw. And I love drawing, but it did become a bit of a factory line of so many portraits that they just blur into one another.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to mess around with a couple sound settings. It is absolutely our mic that's picking up like 15 of her, and I think it's this.
Okay. Guys, we're sorry.
We're sorry. First time we've done that. So sorry that I'm kind of screaming at you right now as well. Turn the gain down on this. And then I've got a couple other things. Continue with your live stream.
Yeah,
sorry, this is an absolute mess.
We're just going to continue on through the chaos. Remember my flexibility, make flexibility your favorite F word quote? That's exactly what we're doing. So we will continue on though. So Amber, a couple days ago you had messaged me and said
they need headphones. He just
it's not that's not helping. So Amber, when we talked a couple days ago, you said that you had one customer who, and I imagine this just kind of is almost straw that broke the camel's back and kind of adds insult to injury here with already having so many commissions, but Amber messaged me and said that she had someone message her and noticed that she was doing some other projects and said that I noticed that you're doing other projects. Are you going to get around to my custom order anytime soon? And we talked about that for a good while too. Amber, how much time do you think that you invest into doing like custom orders? How much of your life is this taking from you?
I'd say about 80%.
Yeah.
I have a few sort of Etsy requests. So I say that I do take requests, which is how I'd like to expand my current breed list. So those ones are the fun ones. Those are the ones where I get to choose the photo, I get to choose the pose, I get to choose how I draw it, how long I take to draw it. And those are the ones that I would love to actually replace that 80%. Because I feel like those are my best ones. The ones where I get to take my time and that are the best photos I could possibly use, they're going to be the best ones. But unfortunately, the 80% of my commissions that I do have, half of them are blurry. They expect miracles that I can't work. I've never met their dog. I don't know what their dog looks like other than this one photo that they have sent. So it does begin to feel like I could do all of that, but I still need to have those moments of sparks and love to be able to fuel me to do another commission. And I would say I'd spend 6 to 8 hours a day drawing commissions. And then in the evening, I don't have a hobby. My hobby is my job. I love my job to the point where anything that I do in the evenings to relax or to chill has to have something to do with my business. So those are the projects that I'm doing. And of course, I'm going to share them with my Amberholics, because why wouldn't I share what I've done? So what they're seeing as me not doing the commissions is me just spending an evening doing something like they would normally do, some knitting, or they might bake, or they might read or watch rubbish TV. I don't do any of that. I just keep drawing and I just keep designing. And now I've employed Lucy, my virtual assistant. Half of the design things that I've done, there's not even me that's doing them. It's my friend Lucy. So when I'm posting something, it might not even have been me that did it. So I'm finding that customers are kind of becoming ruder. I'm not sure whether it is due to COVID and that everyone is just kind of feeling a little bit moody and tetchy because they can't go outside and do the things that they would normally love. They've got a bit more time on their hands, I think, whereas I've got the opposite problem. So they've got nothing else but to chase and to try and push for this product that they ordered 2 days ago. And I'm like, well, it said at time of ordering that they take up to 4 months, and that is being generous.
Yeah. And Sharon had asked, do you think that maybe you should be charging more? Do you want to talk to them a little bit about, because most of the time when I tell you guys that you can't keep up with, if you can't keep up with demand, increase your prices. And Amber has definitely done that. And Amber, do you want to talk about why increasing your prices will no longer work? Like you've maxed that out?
My customers will pretty much pay whatever I charge, and there is a limit. I don't want to put my prices up to the point where it actually becomes uncomfortable for me to write that figure out. I know that my time is worth it, but at the end of the day, the commissions to me aren't worth the price tag that I put on them, because someone could still pay 5 times the amount that I currently charge and still send me a blurry photo that is hard to work with, that they have an unreal expectation of what I'm going to achieve with this photo, and they could still not like it because they've never seen the product or the result. You can't say that commissions, you order something that doesn't exist yet, and it could be up to your expectations, it could be beyond what you had hoped, but it would also not live up to what you were expecting. And there's so much fluctuation between those worlds that 500, 800, £1,000 could still never measure up to the expectation of a customer. And could you imagine that they are paying that much money and to be disappointed in what they receive?
Right. And not to mention, and this is exactly why I stopped doing tattoo designs, which is what I started selling when I started on Etsy. That's why my business name is Art by Starla Moore and not Jewelry by Starla Moore. You, after a while, with so many requests to revise this, can you fix this? Oh, I don't like this. You start to hate the thing that you've been working on for a while. You start to look at it and you realize that it's no longer your work. It's something that they are distorting. And Amber, have you ever had a piece? I know that I do this with jewelry a lot, where you create it to the best of your ability and it looks really good, and then somebody requests a bunch of revisions that actually destroy the portrait and make it look worse.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Like, can you add this? Can you do this? And then when you submit it to them, it's just 100 times worse than what you just originally created for them. It sometimes, guys, it's just not worth the mental stress. And I understand when you first start out, custom orders are really important because that can be the thing that spreads the word of your business. It can be the thing that makes you popular. And in Amber's case, what she did was create almost a catalog of all of these dog breeds. In fact, if you get on her website, you can buy a card with Bubbers on it, because most people who have a tabby cat that looks very close to Bubbers. So she has all of these dog breeds and animals that you can buy that might look almost identical to the breed of dog that you have. So she still has the ability to cater to all of these shoppers. She just isn't having to draw them each by hand, and she can then take her products or her portraits and have them printed on pretty much anything. If she wants to do mugs or t-shirts or, Amber, what's the weirdest product that you have?
Cookie cutters, 100%.
Cookie cutters. Yeah, she sent us some Amber
left
cookie cutters.
field, like I don't know where the idea came from.
People saying audio is much better now. I hope so. I ripped a speaker off of my desk and sat it directly next to us and turned it to almost inaudible. That's my fault. We're going to get some in-ear monitors for the next time we do these interview-style live streams.
Yeah, we haven't done one in like over a year.
I have my stuff set up for music production, but at my desk. So anywhere else, it's awful.
Yeah. And somebody said, or when people start asking you to break copyright laws to make their custom order.
God, yeah.
Yeah, I've had that as well.
There you go.
So Amber, you are currently prepping to stop. She's
Yeah.
finishing up her custom orders. She's got quite a few left, but she is nearing the end of the tunnel, and then she'll be able to relax a little bit. What steps are you putting in place ahead of time for all of our alphas that are thinking about quitting custom orders? Don't squeeze that; it's got a hole in it. Mark almost squeezed a squishy like stress ball that has a hole in it, which would have been
Throw it away.
that would have been hilarious to watch him get covered in the goo from a squishy stress
Yeah,
ball.
well, jokes.
But Amber's planning. She sees the light at the end of the tunnel. What are you doing in the meantime to prepare the alphas who want to quit custom orders might be able to replicate?
So the first thing that I recommend is actually forewarning your customers. Not only does it keep that scarcity feeling that they know that there is a deadline for when you will eventually stop, but I have actually turned the listings off on my website and I sold the last one on my Etsy just so that I have a chance to clear the backlog. Because the day that I want to actually quit, I want to have none left in my order book so that I can charge the price that I want, knowing that I could get them finished by Christmas. Because I feel like not having custom orders for this Christmas would be a mistake. And also not knowing whether I'd be able to complete all of the last custom orders that I ever do, not being able to complete them in time for people's expectations because I have a backlog. And I am also preparing my fans by showing them what they can still order. I think that a lot of them have got it in their heads that the only things that I do actually make have to have their dog on it, when in reality, their breed looks exactly like every other of that breed. So there is a chance that even if I don't draw their specific dog, that they could have something that looks identical to their dog printed on anything. So I've been sort of designing with Lucy some all breed designs. So we've done posters for groomers and for vets and things like that, because there is going to be a day in the hopefully near future where everything starts to open back up again. Due to COVID, everything's still closed. The UK is still in lockdown. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I want to be prepared for that eventuality for wholesale opportunities, because
Yes.
I'm not going to be making the money that I would be with custom orders anymore. I want to know that there isn't going to be a fallout of income, that I'm still going to be able to keep myself secure. So I want to put as many feelers out as possible now, with the plan that in September or in October, I have a deadline that I want to set. I don't know it yet, but I want to have a moment where my catalog is ready for wholesaling and people can come to me and order hundreds or if not thousands of cards, ready for all of the shows and events that have been cancelled and postponed. All the dog shows have been cancelled this year. Crufts has been postponed until July. It would be a huge mistake of me to think I'll be fine. I'd rather put in all the preparation work now, in the knowledge that if anything, I will be more than fine when the day comes. And I know that my customers have agreed with my decision to close commissions. They're upset about it because it's the main thing that they love me for, but they know the reasons why. It's not me suddenly being unobtainable. It's not me suddenly not being a human being and becoming too much of a business and not being personable. It's me saying, I've had enough and I think you guys need to support me in this. And they've been overwhelmingly amazing about it. I wasn't expecting them to be. I wasn't expecting the results, the comments when I did post the reasons. Some of the screenshots that I have posted, I thought might backfire that I thought that they may say, you're being really unprofessional for sharing these viewpoints of a customer. You really shouldn't smear these people. I'm sure these people had their reasons for being so horrible about your work. I was really expecting some negative impact because I was sharing quite brutal screenshots.
Oh yeah.
But the results, the outpouring of love from the Amberholics was amazing and really did solidify that I shouldn't have any doubts that what I'm doing is the right decision.
Yeah, and the customer abuse that Amber has went through, especially this last one,
We've been there.
Yeah.
Man, it sucks.
When a customer isn't just rude but is actually insulting you, and
They're trying to get under your skin. Like when they go from just simple insults to legitimately trying to get under your skin.
right. Amber had a customer who said that they threw her portrait away because they hated it so much and they were insulted by it. And I'm like, how bad could something be that you would throw something that you paid for?
Right.
I would have handled that in such a nastier way. Amber handled it very gracefully, but she used that as almost an opportunity to let people know, like, hey, I know that you guys, you in my VIP club would never talk to me like this, but this is what I deal with from other people who aren't in my circle, on my email list, in my community.
She was in my VIP group.
Oh, was she?
Yeah. I removed her because I was a chicken and I didn't want the repercussions before I posted. I mean, I could have let it play out, knowing she was in the group and knowing she was being called out for being awful.
Yeah.
But I removed her because she didn't deserve that title or to be in my little circle.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
She's a trash human being.
And
unfortunately, I hate to say that. But.
And Amber didn't. She censored the name and everything. She didn't. It's not like.
Yeah, she didn't put her out on blast.
Right, she didn't put her out on blast, but she used it as an opportunity to let people know, like, this is what I deal with that you guys don't see. Right, that I deal with. And that same day, that was the day that I was sick with the stomach flu. But that same day, I remember laying in bed sick, scrolling through my phone, and every single post in my timeline was someone sharing a portrait that Amber had done for them. And it was like 90% of her group that day was just people sharing their portraits, saying how much they love Amber, just to make her feel better, to make her feel loved and appreciated. And it's building a community is so important, guys. And if you are curious about building a community, we actually have another interview with Amber from like 2 years ago, I think, where she talks about how she built her VIP community. And at the time, Amber, I think you only had you had under 1,000 people, didn't you?
Yeah.
And how many do you have now?
2,500.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested, make sure that you don't join her group just to
snoop
and don't contribute. Like, if you want to join and check out her work, I do have it linked down below. If you are interested in seeing, some of her things, but don't go in there just to especially don't ask her business questions in that group. If you want to ask Amber questions, do so in the alpha Facebook community, because her customers are in there. But if you're interested in seeing some of Amber's portraits, if you're interested in seeing her Facebook account and kind of how she markets on there, if you're interested in seeing her Etsy shop versus her website and how those differ, because she does have both of those are linked down below as well. Amber, we're at the 30-minute mark when we would normally start answering questions, and I'm sure
She's got a couple.
Well, do you have anything else that you wanted to add? Because I'm sure that a lot of the gaps will get filled in with the questions.
I just wanted to say that sometimes I feel that people they try to be selfless rather than selfish, and there is a difference between being selfless and self-sacrificing.
Yes.
And I was getting to the point where I was self-sacrificing to try and not control my own time. I was taking on orders that I shouldn't. I was getting chased and chased and chased by someone who was very, very far down the list. And instead of just going, wait your turn, I would then bump that person to the top of the list just to get rid of them because I felt uncomfortable being chased. And it did get to the point where I was like, this is not worth my mental health. This is not worth me seeing I have a message from someone and not wanting to open it just in case it's either another chase or I've received it, I hate it, or it could even be I've received it and I love it. But the negative possibility made me not want to look at my phone. And I would hide. I would genuinely hide from my phone. I will have it in the same room as me, but I've turned all notifications off. I've turned off Etsy notifications. It's literally 1 in 1,000 that is a negative. But my issue was that the negative was going to be something that was subjective. And I could never fix that. It's arrived broken. I can replace that. It's never it got lost, in which case, sure, I can't replace that. I can draw you another one, absolutely, but it's going to now take me another 4 weeks to be able to bump your order. It was getting to the point where I can't replace things. I can't fix it. I just don't want to do them anymore. And the feeling that when I decided to make the decision and say no, the relief, honestly, is like a huge weight has just gone. There is doubt, absolutely. And I Marco Polo'd Starla the other day, and I was like, it's not that I regret my decision, but I have this feeling that a journey has ended, and I don't know what to expect. What if there's a day where I'm sat packaging orders all day and I don't need to draw? What do I do? What do I do with my life if I don't draw? What do I do? Like, if I haven't got anything to draw, but I can draw anything, therefore I draw nothing. And it was the feeling of impending doom that I'm going into the unknown, when in reality I've only really done 7 years out of the 28 that I've lived on this earth doing commissions. I'll be fine.
And the great thing about it is that, for one, you'll be able to draw, if you want to draw, a dragon, you will have the time to do that. And for two, and what I told Amber is that if she ever wanted to do like maybe a contest or something or an auction, mm-hmm. or something where she accepts one commission and she's like, okay, I've got a little bit of free time, I am auctioning a commission slot. And she could do so many cool things, or do one for charity. She could literally do anything she wanted. It's not that no one ever will get to see a new drawing from Amber. Amber can draw whatever the heck she wants now. If there's a dog breed that she hasn't added to her collection,
if there's a new fad where people are adopting a specific type of dog, like it happens every few years, people get obsessed. Like Shiba Inus are huge right now. Mm-hmm. Like that happens. She can always take advantage of things like that. There are other ways to make money other than doing custom orders
and driving yourself crazy and your mental health.
And I will say that's not to say that you shouldn't do custom orders ever.
No, they made me who I am now.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have got to where I am if I hadn't have offered them.
Because somebody asked a question, where was it? Do you think you'd change your mind and go back to commissioned custom orders? And I don't want to answer for you, but I doubt it. And I think the reason why I say that is because her business is going to continue to grow in other ways. She's going to be able to open up other avenues of making income off of her business. Things like she talked about wholesale there for a minute. wholesale is a huge opportunity, and going back to doing custom orders would presume that what she's going to go forward doing wouldn't succeed as well as the custom orders did. So there shouldn't be a necessity to ever have to do that. But I won't answer. If you want to answer that, I won't totally answer that for you.
Custom order isn't a black or a white. Custom order is a huge million shades of grey in between.
Right.
There's nothing to say that a breed society that I've never drawn their dog before, they've never drawn their breed before, don't approach me in the future and say, we love your style, we would love to have all of your products, like we're talking greeting cards, tea towels, mugs, cookie cutters of everything, but I don't see our breed on your website. Is there something that you can do for us? In which case, that would be a perfect custom order for me. And in fact, those are the ones that I look forward to, because they are the people that know their breed like the back of their hand, and they are the ones that sing my praises.
And you won't have to rush it out. You'll be able to take your time and do exactly and do revisions and fix things if they have mild inconsistencies, things like that. Like,
yeah,
being stuck with custom orders, having to just like.
Right, and being able to give them their product faster because you don't have that backlog. It's just the once in a blue moon time when you get that custom order. So
I've also noticed it stops you being creative, because if you're being given the brief continuously, you don't have the opportunity to broaden what you'd like to do. And since I have made the decision, my creativity has actually gone up, and I'm coming up with ideas that I never would have before, knowing that I'm going to have to, and secondly that I'm going to have the time to. And my Trello board is full of ideas that I have had over the years that I have been putting off because I haven't had the time to be able to do them. And I'm actually excited to start and to go through a design process and not spend 10 minutes on something and go, okay, up on Etsy. I can spend a week, I can spend a month going through the designs. I can go into like actually researching the best little tweaks to it to make it a perfect product so that it will sell over and over and over again. It's not just a one-off breed like a cocker poodle schnitzer poo. And I'm like, what is this? No one else has this dog. Why am I drawing this dog? Other than the personal satisfaction of that one customer. Instead, I'm drawing a Gordon setter that is loved by 5,000 people in the UK, and they can look at it and they can clearly see it's a Gordon setter.
And guys, you might think that this doesn't apply to you, but if you make, for example, necklaces, and you've got somebody who wants some crazy custom order, like for me it was keys, but someone would want, oh, can you make me a skeleton key with a dragon and a zebra and the letters, B, G.
If you've never done commissions or custom orders, then you can't even picture the kind of, we'll say the stupid requests that you get. You get some stupid requests, and it's not that they're stupid in that like it's stupid that they want them. It's just like they're so outlandish and out there that you wonder how they got the perception that you would do something like that.
And the problem with it is that you can't replicate it to the extent that anybody else other than that one customer will buy it. Another example is Handmade Alpha Academy. I could do one-on-one coaching with people.
Yes.
But I cannot take those individual coaching sessions and give them to others. I would get paid for that moment, for that hour that I sat with somebody, or I could do what I did and record all of the best, the number one pieces of advice.
The content that helps everybody universally.
And that is all pre-recorded and ready to go. Amber can take her best works, her best portraits, the best breeds, the very best photos that she received of the best looking dogs, and put those on cards. And anybody who says, oh, I want a picture of, a Corgi or a German Shepherd, she has the perfect example of that animal. And I know that any of you who have like a pet themed anything, whether it's a mug, whether it's a t-shirt of your breed, you likely don't have your exact dog on it or your exact cat, but you have something that looks kind of like your
Right.
dog or kind of like your
Like
cat.
the bumper magnets and things like that,
Mhm.
like Corgi Mom.
Right.
Those kind of, like, it's not your Corgi. It's
Exactly.
somebody else's from somewhere. So that, I don't know.
You
It's
also
like
said recently that the problem with doing jewelry was that you couldn't just buy one of the tiny items. You'd have to
right.
buy 50, and then you'd have to sell 49 frog keys to
Yeah.
somebody else who might not ever want a frog key. And I was finding the same, is that to be able to make it worthwhile, for example, I know it's not to the same scale, but my memo pads, my tear off sheets, I have to print them in batches of 4 to make it worthwhile. If I've only got one that is sold, I've now got 3 left. And
Right.
no one will ever buy them because it's Bella, the sheepomapu that is slightly gammy and has one eye. No one wants that except the owner of that dog who loves it to bits.
Right.
I then have to kind of convince that person that they want 4.
And I love seeing in your group where you'll post like, I have one of these, who wants it, comment if you want it, and it's always like something completely random that I know that you're just trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
As Cher said, she's proud of you. A lot of people only consider the dollar signs and not how much damage they could do to their business or their psyche. It's not that money isn't important. I'll say that. Money is definitely important. You should weigh your options and your risks. But Amber's successful enough, I think, that the risk is outweighed by the potential benefits of stopping.
There are also people that do pet portraits and only pet portraits.
Yes.
And they will get better and better and better and better at improvising the bits of photo that you can't quite see. And they will get better at drawing from blurry photos because that's all they do all day. I can't afford to do that anymore because I have so many Etsy orders of cards. I know what I'm doing for one breed, and then I do it and I finish that breed and then I'm done. I never really want to draw that breed again because I spend so long on that breed trying to make it perfect for anyone to look at and know it's the breed. I don't consider myself a pet portraitist anymore, and I think that that was a defining moment when I would go through an entire day packaging so many orders that I hadn't actually sat down to do any drawing whatsoever in a day. And I'm like, I can't consider myself an artist anymore. I'm an Etsy seller, I'm a business owner, but I'm not an artist. I'm a business owner. And I need to know what the good points of my business, what I do well at, what I enjoy, and get rid of the bits that I don't enjoy so much. And
Agreed.
that just so happens to be the commissions. Other people, I know, for example, Lucy, who joined HAA, she might be watching.
She
Um,
is.
she said to me that she absolutely gets off on marketing. She loves it. She loves going through the beginning phases of a business, knowing what works well as a design, what would be an amazing niche to do. But then when it comes to creating the stock, suddenly her passion dies. And it's not a problem with her personality. It's not that she's a terrible business owner. It's she has a passion and she needs to go for it. And that she seems to excel at it because that's what she loves. So she's doing that for me. She's doing all the like tiny, minute admin bits of making sure that my brand is succinct and that it all follows through and all my photos are the same tint and all of that. And I have to just be the person that draws because I'm Amber Marie. And that kind of depressed me a little bit. That's the only thing that I'm unique at. That can't be. That can't be the only thing that I'm unique at. And then I realized that I shouldn't be depressed at the one thing that I'm good at in my business. and that
Well,
Exactly. You become a business owner to do what you love to do, and it's not to say that you're not going to have to struggle through the mud a little bit to get there, but nobody starts a business with the intention of working 60 hours a week until they die. Right? Like you bust your butt at the beginning and you eventually get yourself to the point where it slowly becomes self-sufficient, and then you're working, a few less hours a week every couple of months, and then eventually your business is running itself. And then all you got to do, like with yours, it'll eventually be to a point where you draw every once in a while and then you ship products full time.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be anywhere near as much work.
Me and my husband are planning a family, and now we've got a puppy, and I can't justify the amount of hours that I'm working if I am also a mother.
yeah.
I can do it now. I will not be able to do it in a few years' time when my situation changes. And it really was a big moment when I realized that I'm not going to be able to continue doing this forever. I'm going to develop arthritis in my hand. I'm going to hate commissions even more. And there's only so far that your customer service can be gentle and kind, because if you get the same messages over and over and over again, you become more and more what's the word?
Bitter.
Yes. I didn't want to swear. You do. It becomes you become really short with people because you're having to repeat the same answer over and over and over again when that's the first time that they've asked the question. And it is becoming an issue for me to have to keep saying in 2 to 4 months, in 2 to 4 months, in 2 to 4 months, in 2 to 4 months. And it gets to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to do yours now because I hate you. I don't hate them at all. They are my fans, my loyal followers. They love my work so much that they're willing to pay for it, but it's becoming a burden that I don't want or should deserve. Really, I've got myself into the situation. It's time to pull myself back out, knowing that there's an end to it.
And you guys can learn to hate anything that you love if you're forced to do it under strict constraints. No matter Mark is in a band, and if it was his job to play music 24/7 and
I would hate it.
Haul gear around.
That's like I'm pretty good at mixing and mastering music. It's a skill that I'm just kind of gifted at, and I've had people ask me can you mix my tracks, or can you do this thing with my music, and I'm like, no. I do it for fun. I don't ever release any of the music. I've probably got 30 different songs over here, or bits and pieces of songs that I've completely mixed down to studio quality, and I'll never release them just because I do it for fun. I don't want that.
Yeah, and jewelry for me, it's the same way. I had to take a break because my suppliers were still trying to figure that out. But this break that I've been on since Christmas break, I love it. I'm loving it. Me and Amber are working on a little project that I can't tell you guys about, but it's freed up a little bit of time. I went from Amber would message me on Marco Polo, and I would only message her back once a week. And now we just talk all day because I have a little bit more time on my plate, just because I'm not constantly making right now. So anything that you love, even especially if you're new, and you say, I could never get sick of this. I love making jewelry. I love painting. I love doing pottery. I'll never get sick of it. Imagine that you're in Amber's shoes, where you have a backlog of 200 orders and people are messaging you every single day asking, where's my thing? Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Imagine getting that buried, and always keep that future in mind, because you should always expect to succeed. You should, when you start your business. Yeah. I mean, obviously not everybody's...
Expect to succeed, plan to fail.
Right. Obviously not everybody's going to succeed, but if you plan for that worst case scenario, you will be prepared.
If and when it happens.
Exactly. So, right.
Tanya asked, instead of having open-ended customs, would you consider recommend opening up a number of custom order slots every now and again?
If that's your buffer, then yes. If that is needed and you have the time to do it, and that is your desire to do, then yes. And I have considered that maybe it might be that I open a certain amount of slots every year to be able to at least fill in the gaps of my portfolio. But I don't want to tell my customers that I will have that in
Yeah.
place, because then they will expect it and they will begin to wait for that moment to happen, instead of it being a happy surprise that I open the slots. It will be a just long wait if I never end up having the time to open those slots.
And Amber, if you ever wanted to say that you know decide to go on a vacation after COVID or something, if you wanted, you know, okay, I need a couple thousand extra dollars because we want to do this fun thing while on vacation, you could just open a couple commission slots and they would be even more in demand than they have been in the past, because people will know that it's a rarity, and you could probably triple the price that you normally charge for commissions if you wanted to, and at least a few people would want one.
However, I will say, don't use that as your marketing tactic.
Oh, yeah.
With that. We've seen people in the past, and I'm not calling anybody specific out because I don't think any of them are here anyway. But don't ever use like needing money as an excuse to open up publicly. Like if you need money and you want to open up a couple slots, totally fine. Just don't let anybody know that that's why you're doing it. You market it like a normal thing. What was that?
Do it as a celebration.
Yes.
Exactly.
There's a lady called, there's an actress in the UK called Kathy Burke. And she was doing a radio interview, and she'd come out of the woodwork. She hadn't done anything in years. And then all of a sudden she was doing a radio interview because she was suddenly doing a tour. And the DJ asked her, so what made you come back out into the open? What made you decide to tour? And she went, I need new windows.
That's hilarious.
And the DJ didn't quite know what to say. And I mean, it was funny because for a celebrity, because you would imagine that she was pretty well off because she's still living off of the royalties from other things. But for a celebrity to say, kind of need a new blah blah blah, it was funny. But if it's an everyday person that you're interacting with, it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I would never do it. I never would do it saying Pixel needs vet bills paid for.
Right.
Or we need a new car because ours has failed the MOT. We wouldn't do that because I would hope that I would have the money anyway. And if I didn't, then there's another route. There's another way of getting that money without it being a pity sale. And it should always be a happy reason that you're running a sale.
And the reason for that, and I believe I talk about this in Handmade Alpha Academy, the reason why it's so off-putting when I see someone who says, I can't make my rent this week, please buy one of my things, or...
that drives me nuts.
The thing is, your job as a business owner is to solve someone's problem. They are coming to you as an expert because they have a problem that they would like you to solve by providing your product or service.
Not the other way around.
Right. And when you are asking someone to buy something so you can pay your bill, you are asking them to solve your problem.
You're making them responsible for not being able to afford something.
Right.
Exactly.
I would never want to be the reason why somebody couldn't afford their medical bill because I didn't buy the thing that I don't actually want.
Right. And like there's nothing wrong with catering to your customers' emotions, but like catering to their goodwill and having them cater to your desperation just creates a really toxic environment. Mm-hmm. It's not, I don't know.
Now,
it goes from marketing to taking advantage of customers, and you shouldn't ever take advantage of your customers. It's kind of petty.
I would say that it might work like one time if you've got maybe like your child has cancer and there's like you need an emergency surgery and you almost do like a fundraiser type thing, but you still, you know, I think that it just depends on what it is, because I do see things like that where I'm okay with it. It's just the ones that you all the time, you know.
You still need to frame it in a light that isn't desperation.
Exactly.
Like people struggle every day, and that's no new thing. But as a business owner, first and foremost, professionalism, like regardless of what time period you think this is, professionalism is always going to be the way forward.
Absolutely.
And there, if you want to say that, like, I'm holding a sale because, you know, X, Y, and Z has cancer or whatever it is, and any help would be appreciated, fine. But don't be, you know, posting things like, oh, my kid has cancer, please go buy my stuff so I can afford the bill. Like, frame it in a way that's not so abrasive.
Right.
It doesn't just make people bad and force them to buy. Give people the opportunity to help you, but don't force them to buy, or don't try to force them to buy.
There's definitely a way you can always spin it that is not so abrupt. And I've done sales where I need to clear out space because I'm moving house. And it's never like, please buy my stuff so I don't have to move it. It's I'm clearing out the studio in preparation to move to my exciting new studio. However, there's a few things that they definitely need new homes rather than come with me. And that sounds so much better than I'm moving house, please buy my things because I'm going to need money to renovate. And that's what I needed. I needed the money to decorate my new studio. I needed the space to decorate my new studio, but I didn't put that onus on my customers to solve my problem.
Yeah. And we had a couple people who are saying, like, maybe you could do this. We've got one. Maybe you could take one custom order a week when you get caught up. Maybe you could open a couple custom orders here and there. Guys, you're missing the point.
Are they people that want portraits?
Oh, yeah. It's all people who want portraits. No, you guys are missing the point here, though. It's not that Amber's never going to get to draw. I think that a couple people are thinking that Amber's never going to get to draw, and she's stopping drawing.
I'm retiring my pen.
Right. Amber's going to get to draw what she wants to draw. She's still going to get to draw.
Yes.
She just isn't going to have to deal with customer abuse. She will have the flexibility to accept a custom order when she wants to without the expectation. And when you say one a week, and then maybe Amber gets sick, or Amber moves house, or Amber
goes on vacation, has a frickin' baby, and it's rough on her or something.
Amber doesn't have people saying, "Oh, once a week."
Where's my order? I don't give a crap about your baby.
Right, once a week can still pile up. So think about having 200 portraits that you have to draw.
She's to a point where supply and demand, like. We always tell people that if demand gets too high, you need to raise your prices to accommodate the raise in demand, right? But there's a limit to that.
She's raised her prices.
She's raised
to
her
the max.
prices to a breaking point where it would be too much to ask for more, I think. And demand has still gone super high, so she can either hire work. And this is custom-made art, which means there's no one else in the world who draws things exactly like her. So there is no help she can hire on that end of the spectrum. But it's still 200 portraits due. It doesn't matter if she hires help to ship stuff. It doesn't matter if she hires marketing help. There's still 200 portraits that need done.
Yeah.
So she has to move in a way where she can still expand her business, but take workload off of her shoulders. And that's why I say it's not that you shouldn't do commissions. If you have the capability to do commissions, you definitely should. But if you're to the point where you can't raise your prices and demand is still so high that you can't keep up, an alternative avenue needs to be taken. For those of you that do like print on demand stuff, this stuff kind of doesn't really apply. If you do digital stuff, it still applies, but to a point. But she does hand-drawn things that take a lot of time to do. So,
and if they get lost or damaged,
yes.
I have to do the whole thing over again.
It's balancing the scale. You have to balance the scale, and eventually that scale's going to hopefully tip in your favor to the point where you can't keep up anymore, and you have to change. You have to evolve. So she has to move in a way and start making other risks. She's made all the risks that she can possibly make, and now she has to make new ones.
And Amber, how much is just to give them an idea? If I commissioned a pet portrait from you, one of the large, like, standard portrait size portraits, how much do you usually charge for those?
So they were 150, and now they're 250.
Yeah,
250 guys for,
and that's already on the high end. Could you imagine, like,
raising more?
Realistically, asking someone to draw something for you, or create a product for you, and ask for more than that? Like, that's That's a lot of money already.
And she totally could.
Absolutely.
But there's another problem that plays into that, where people think that if they're paying like $300 for a portrait, their expectations are so stupid through the roof.
They get too high, and then the negativity gets even higher, and then the risk gets even higher
for them. They would expect it tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You don't pay typically, if you pay a premium price like that, you expect something quick as well. So what else do we...
maybe you could do your custom launches, only a set amount of commissions available until they set out. So like when you do a collection launch, do like 20.
They sell out every single time.
Yeah, they would definitely sell out every time.
I know they would, therefore I can sit on the knowledge that they would if I ever did it.
Yep.
If I hope that I will be able to have the time to, then great. But I probably won't.
Yep.
And if I look at myself 7 years ago when I started, and I was struggling to get commissions, I was struggling to post in groups in that such a spammy way of trying to get people to buy my work and pay a deposit and then pay me later, and then I would draw the portrait and then they would go, no, it's not worth the money, or they would just do a runner and never reply to me. If I look back on that, it doesn't matter how much I grow, there is a limit to how many commissions I can offer. I'd rather remove the possibility entirely. And then if anybody ever did message me, I can say, look, I'm not taking commissions right now, but there is nothing to say that in the future I won't open up a few slots, and they can wait. If that is the thing that they want, they can wait. They might be waiting forever. They might be waiting 2 days. I can't ever put that expectation on myself to know when I'm going to be free enough to do that.
And you can get them on your email list. You can grow your audience. And who's to say that they want a poodle drawn, a white poodle, and then you do some marketing because they've joined your email list to wait to commission their white poodle, and then they just conveniently see that you have a new product that already has a white poodle. You introduce a new mug that has a white poodle, and they say, well, that's close enough. That looks almost identical to my poodle. And then they buy that item, and then they become a customer, even though they didn't get what they were originally waiting for. They're willing to compromise on that, and they're willing to go ahead and just buy what you already have.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and every image that you see on my website, on Etsy, on my Facebook group, there is 10 others that are on my hard drive that I don't show anybody because they're either I just haven't got around to it, they're hiding on my hard drive. I have 7,000 drawings waiting on my hard drives. There's going to be a point when I will have so many hard drives, use up so much storage, saving these portraits for people because I want to always be able to offer them to come back and get it printed on anything, that I'm going to actually spend more time finding that one drawing that I did of their dog 7 years ago than I did actually drawing it. So I feel like if I can have those hard drives and they're done, and those are all the custom orders that I've ever done, and then they're done, they're gone, they're in a drawer somewhere, and if anybody ever wants one, I can get them out. But I will have a rotation of like the top 100 breeds always available, ready to go on my printer. All I need to do is print. It removes the stress that tiny little jobs where someone who wants one single greeting card of their dog, and I spend 15 minutes trying to find it because I'm searching their name. Then they have a maiden name that was not the name that they messaged me with. They message me and say it's a XYZ breed, and actually I didn't save that under a breed at all. I didn't even save it as a name. It's just AMBP 2017-00001. There's 7,000 of them, guys. I don't want to do that part of the commissions or the drawing until I'm ready to do it, and then I know I have the freedom to charge whatever I want, whatever I feel comfortable doing. I can offer as many slots as I want, when I want, with the expectation of how long I can take to do them. if I remove the expectation from customers that that possibility is there, I am then free.
We've got a couple.
Random questions. Robin said that they're a stagehand. I'm your dream customer because I use a Kemper.
Somebody said that they want to know where you got Lucy, and then Lucy's in the chat, and then Mr. Amber Marie is also in the chat talking about Lucy. So Lucy's getting lots of love in the chat. Let's see.
Questions. Somebody. What was that one that I just clicked off of? Amber, how did you find a person like that?
That's the one. That's Lucy.
Oh. Okay.
Wanting to know how she found.
How did I find Lucy?
How did you find?
Lucy? We've been friends for years. I think we originally found each other as friends during a weird project that I was partnered doing, where we would run market nights specifically themed around dogs. We would go and find all these different businesses that did different things, and she did digital. I think that was the original business where she did digital commissions of people's pets. I got my fish because that was the only pet that I had. I was like, "Can you got my fish?" Yeah, we started a friendship just because we were both artists. We both did commission work. She did obviously digital, whereas I did traditional. And I've watched her start lots of businesses over the years, and none of them were quite right. She never felt like she could finish them. I never knew that was because she just didn't want to actually do the stock. But we went deep into the psychology of what was going on in her brain, and we worked it out recently. And I believe I was in the bath when I actually asked her. And I felt incredibly rude and incredibly cheeky to ask her. But I remember her saying that she hated her job. I think she works in a decking company that supply like equipment for making a deck. And
That's my passion.
She was having a terrible time at this job. And she said, I'm on furlough because of COVID. And I just asked her, I was like, well, I'm going to need some people for crafts. And she said, I can be your coffee monkey. And I was like, well, actually, I was going to ask you. And she went, are you serious? And yeah, I need someone now. I've got to the point where I need someone to help me. And then she bit my hand off and said, like, I'll hop in the car, I'll come to the studio like 3 times a week, it'll be fine. And I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. You can stay at home. You can work from home. It's all distance. It's fine. I mean, you can if you want, but a lot of the work that I have is just on the computer. And that was 4 weeks ago, maybe. I don't remember anymore. And she has excelled at everything I've asked her to do because it's her only focus. She sits there, she's got the knowledge, she knows how to use Photoshop, she knows how to do a lot of the tasks I ask her to do, if not better than if I was to do it. And she comes up with ideas like, I wanted a wholesale catalog that actually functioned like an Excel spreadsheet. Because I was getting to the point where somebody would order 10 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these. And I'm like, oh. Whereas now Lucy has made me this beautiful Excel spreadsheet that you just type in the number that you want of each design, and then it comes up as a like packing list. It makes an invoice. It's amazing. It was a bit of a headache to work out the formulas because neither of us are necessarily that great at Excel. But yeah, she's amazing. And if you've got a friend in your life that knows how to do 85% of the jobs that you have to do on a daily basis, there is literally no harm that could happen to your friendship if you ask. And I felt that was the biggest problem that I had, is that I didn't ask her sooner because I felt uncomfortable. And that I was asking her to work for me. Like, it actually makes me cringe, but it shouldn't make.
What I love is that you said that they already know how to do 85% of what you're doing. I think that that's a big problem as well, where, you know, a lot of people will hire someone that isn't qualified to do or doesn't know how to do what you need done, and then on top, like, you hire someone to save you time, but you have to end up spending just as much time teaching them how to do all of the things, and then it's not that they're saving you any time at all because you've had to teach them. So finding somebody who already
that they did
knows,
wrong. And then fix everything that they did wrong.
Exactly, but potentially having potentially having something go wrong, potentially having maybe they post a product in your shop and they only charge a penny for it. For Amber's custom portraits, get a portrait for a penny, and then you're screwed because of a little mix-up that they had. It's important to make sure that when you do decide to hire somebody, you get somebody who knows at least a little bit about your brand or has watched you for enough time to know what needs to be done. But,
and she's in HAA, so she is even more qualified because she knows not only what I do, but why I do the things I do, why I speak in the voice that I speak on my social media, why I have the things on my Etsy shop only have 5 of each item available, despite the fact that I can print like hundreds. I have 5, they sell out, I then have 5, and then they sell out, and then I have 5, and then they sell out. It's a little bit of admin work for me to have to keep renewing them, but it's working. There are reasons why I do things, and for me to explain that to a complete newbie to a business, Scott, Mr. Amber Marie, has said many times that what I need is a stay-at-home mum who wants to do 2 or 3 hours a week. And I'm like, yes, maybe to do the packaging of the orders, but I would still need to teach them how to use Etsy and how to do like marketing photos and how to do calligraphy as well. Like, I actually handwrite my cards in calligraphy, and I would have to then teach someone how to do that because it's not inherently in their skill set already. One thing I had to make sure I did was I wanted to do it properly. I wanted to hire her properly, so I actually did a job description so she knew what to expect from me, what workload that she was expecting, and how many hours that I imagined that there would be. And I said, if you go over, let me know and I will pay you for them, and we can revise your hours. Because the last thing that I would ever expect someone to do is to work for free. If they want to, I'm still going to pay them, because I know what it's like.
Yeah. And something that you pointed out there that I wanted to touch on, and this is not me promoting Handmade Alpha Academy, but HAA is a really good environment to collab in. Because everybody is doing the same thing and they're on the same track and they know what they need to be doing and they're all focused on the same goal. And I notice that the best collaborations that I see from the alpha community come directly from alphas who are in HAA, because it's like they collab, but they already know exactly what to do to collab, to make that happen, how to market each other, how to promote, how to promote on email.
The community's definitely done good for a lot of people.
Yeah,
for
sure. For collaboration efforts. Again, link is down below somewhere. And waiting list link.
Yeah, again, not an ad, but being in the private Facebook group with only students, it's something that you pay for, so it's people that take it seriously.
Right.
It's people that have taken the time to want to actually delve deeper into it. So you'll get a lot more experienced and a lot more educated answers to questions that you pose. And you'll get a lot more realistic help.
Right.
It's the HAA group down. I was unable to find it the other day.
No. It's...
Did you type HAA, not AHA?
Yeah.
HAA. And that's probably just speed typing thing,
It's the student campus on Only students are allowed to join, though. So for those who are listening in, please don't request to join if
Yeah,
you're not a
because
student.
we'll deny you.
Yeah. Um, all right. We had a couple more questions up top.
Yeah, we did. Somebody asked, it was Rebecca, what are your thoughts on production partners to produce items? All my designs, but it takes so long.
So I'm currently using Printful to create some of my products. I also have a lady called Claire who prints my mugs and my tea towels and my tote bags. I think those are the three products. And I actually have given her my login for Etsy. And she goes in, she has her own, what are they called? Order status? Is that what they're called? When you can move it between the like, yeah. So she has her own one. And every time I receive an order that I know she can do, I push it to her to do. And she does her postage from her end with my return address labels and everything. She does that. I think production partners are a great resource. I think that you should go into the back end of everything that you could possibly do with them, because there are a lot of things that the production partners offer that you probably aren't aware of. And I'm hoping to maybe do another video with Starla on it, maybe later.
After we figure out text or
Yeah.
tech.
But there's a
I'll
few
get some
things that I would
inertia.
always recommend if you are using a production partner. Never assume that the quality is like the mock-ups. Always try and have one in your hand before you actually offer it to the public. Ignore everything that I do and do what I say. I post a lot of what would you call them in my group, where I post a product that I never ever have an intention of ever selling because of stupid ideas.
Absurd. They're like absurdity ideas. Amber will post something like she did boxers, like actual men's boxers with dogs all over them.
With a boxer on it.
Yeah, with boxers on them, and she's not gonna. Are you gonna sell? You're not gonna sell those, right?
I don't think that they would be worth it. I think that the funny post was worth more than the value that actually printing boxes would be.
Right, and they promote engagement, because the thing is, you could post something like that with no plan to sell it, but people are going to comment because they think it's funny. That boosts your group engagement, and that ensures that those people are going to see future posts from you, even if it's not a product that you plan to sell. And Amber always pairs it with something like, maybe I've had too much coffee, or here's this crazy idea that I came up with.
Probably
Maybe I'm
now.
So, and they always get the best reactions too.
Yeah.
Oh,
what I'm saying is that usually, if you're going to use someone else to print it, I would always make sure to have one in your hand to know how to describe it. You don't just expect this production company to always send out the best quality, because they might not. You'll never know unless you've actually received one.
Yeah.
So do a bit of research.
Yeah. And
There we are.
Amber and I can't talk about the specifics of a project that we're working on, but that's a big part of a project that we're working on. So
The first rule about Alpha Club is you don't talk about the Alpha Club.
exactly. So
Approximately how long does it take for Amber to make a new commissioned portrait? That's
2 hours to 36 hours, depending on the size and depending on how engaged I am. Because if I'm hating it, it takes longer.
Oh, of course.
yeah. And imagine having 200 of them, guys.
It's like when I write music, I write the best music when I'm in the mood to write music. If I'm not, I've done nothing. Can't get it out. Can you discuss how to offer limited custom orders? I think we already discussed that, didn't we?
Like different ways that you could offer limited custom orders. Amber, what would, if you decided that maybe next year you're just in the mood to offer some custom orders just for fun, how would you go about doing that?
I would run a dog show. And I would have judges who are experts in their breed. I would have cutest puppy. I would have dog the judge would most likely take home. I would have best dressed, sleepiest hound, whatever. I would have competition, and each class wins the best in show. Rosette, I would print a rosette with Amber Marie Byra portraits on it. and I would draw the winning photo for each class, maybe as a small portrait, and then I would do a best in show big one, like you won everything. And that not only would promote engagement in my group, but it would also get more people involved because they would go, oh my God, this lady, she has the best photo. I'm going to tag her because I know she would want to enter this. I would get my Amberholics involved to not just enter, but to also sponsor a class, to help me print the rosettes, to judge the class, and to also vote for the best in show out of the top 12 that winning the classes. Or I would just do a giveaway. I don't know. Whichever idea is best. What do you think, Starla? Which one would you think does the best?
Oh my God. Have you thought about this already? Because if you thought of that on the fly,
not without
then that was a lot. That was amazing. Guys, that's okay, so that's the difference between like the business owner mindset versus somebody new to business, or somebody who's just getting into it, where somebody who's just getting into it, if asked how would you offer custom orders, they might say, well, I would pick a week when I'm not so busy, and I would take maybe 3 or 4 of them, and da da da. And Amber's like, I would have a dog show.
I would really like, if I'm gonna do commissions and they're that sought after already, I'm going to try and make them more exclusive, and I wouldn't want to put a price tag on them. I could, but I wouldn't want to put a price tag on them that would make people uncomfortable or to make my portrait seem unobtainable. I would want it to be fun and a celebration.
Yeah. Always frame everything as a celebration, and it will get good feedback.
She said that she can't see it. Yeah, the Facebook community is the public page. I just check if that name in your title is your name, you're not in the band, but I also don't see you in the group.
All right, so Handmade Alpha Facebook community is the free community. That's for anybody, and that's linked down below. The student campus is just for Handmade Alpha Academy students, and if you're not seeing the student campus group, you can email me via my secret student email within the contact tab on handmadealphaacademy.com if you're a student, if you don't know what the email address is. But if you're not able to see the group at all, the only thing that I can think is that I just did a big mass clear out of people who had but it was only people who had inactive accounts. So
inactive accounts and people that had blocked us.
Yeah, if you block an admin, you get booted out of the group. You're not allowed
boom, get out of here.
You're not allowed to block admins because then we can't see what you post. But,
yep, so then we get rid of you.
But feel free to email me, and I'll send you the link.
Someone's asked me a question, and I'm gonna go get something. It's literally here.
Okay. Crappy Crafter said another good thing about HA, you can be gone for months and still go back and finish your learning. You don't have to miss anything. Exactly. It's always there for you.
Yes.
I found quite a range of quality with Printful products. I think we found the same.
Yeah. There's some things that are fantastic, that are great, and then there are some things that are just like,
Yeah, and she also said, did Mark get a haircut or a professional shave? Why is he looking extra clean and sharp today? Yeah, I actually did. And I'll recommend my barber for anybody in Ohio, since it's like 40 minutes away from here. It's the American Legend Barber Shop, and I believe, I don't remember this, Vandalia, I think is the actual city, but it's like an actual classic barber shop. They say bad words, and they drink, and they're raunchy, and they all have guns on their hips, and it's a wonderful place, and they're all super nice dudes, and you can book them on Booksy, so...
I don't see the waiting list link for Handmade Alpha Academy. It should be down below.
I'll check.
It should be in the description. It should say something about getting on the waiting list. Or go to handmadealphaacademy.com and you'll see things for my freebies, my SSAR swipe files, my marketing calendars, and then you'll see one with the Alpha logo that says Handmade Alpha Academy. You can click that as well. And
Amber marketing calendars. Handmade Alpha Facebook community business insider.
Oh, I guess it's
You
not
did
on.
not link it.
Oh,
You naughty hottie.
I'm sorry. Go to handmadealphaacademy.com and look for the thing that says to join the waiting list for Handmade Alpha Academy. It's on there.
Oh, good. Boop, boop. What's a rosette?
This is a rosette.
What's a Oh, okay.
Oh, gotcha. Pasties.
Yeah.
No, not pasties. These are the kinds of conversations that we have with Amber when we're not live.
This is one I've sponsored as a business, and it's actually got my business name written on the ribbon. And that's what I would do, and it says like prettiest word that means a female dog. Kindly sponsored by Amber Marie Bio Portraits, and I would do something like this as a prize for anybody that didn't win a drawing. They would get something like this.
A participation award.
I would do one right now, knowing that all dog shows are kind of cancelled right now. I think that it would be something that everyone would love. I just don't have the time.
The digital dog show would be pretty dope.
That would be so cute.
Question for Starla before this ends. When the Academy opens again, and you do have...
When will the Academy...
When will it open again? See, my brain is on stupid mode. Do you have an idea about how much tuition will be so
Yes.
I can save up? Yes, we do.
HAA will open again on June 14th, so you have plenty of time to save up. June is the day that you want to join if you want to get ready for the holiday season. Because if you join in June, it usually takes around 60 days to complete the course if you put about an hour in it a day. Then you will be right before the holidays, and you'll be able to use everything that you learned in order to prep for Christmas. And when you see these alphas like Paula Haas, who had like a $10,000 Black Friday launch, these are alphas who took the June class and got prepped in time for the holiday season. And you don't have to prep because it's work at your own pace if you don't have the time to do it. But if you really want to hustle and try to have that blowout launch for the holidays,
Blowout.
do the June launch, not the December launch, because by December it'll be too late. June 14th, and enrollment for those who are on the email list or in the alpha community, normally it's $1,997. But for those who are in the alpha community and on the email list, we always do the exclusive discount link for you guys, and it is $997, not $9.97. It's $997 because you get the $1,000 discount, which is far less than I would charge to coach personally. And Amber, how long did it take you to make your money back for HAA?
8 months.
8 months.
And
And
I
how?
was in my Etsy shop from scratch. So if
Right.
you've already got an Etsy shop and it's already got traction, it'll be way quicker. And also my issue was I'm selling £3 item. Well, actually they were like £2 when I first started. So £2 items obviously are going to take a lot longer to accumulate to be able to pay it off than it would be if you were selling £10 or £50 items.
We're not talking about weight for our Americans. We're talking about
Right.
dollar amounts. And then Amber, what was I going to say? Oh, how much did HAA help you from joining? Like from the moment, like when you joined, where were you before you joined, and where do you feel that HAA like took you?
So my entire Etsy shop is a poster child for HAA. I wouldn't have bothered starting it if I hadn't watched the course, watched your videos beforehand, before enrolling as well, that knowing that Etsy was worth it, because I didn't really know much about Etsy. I didn't know how many people were sat there waiting to purchase on the site. I didn't know about SEO. I didn't know the ways in which you can become a best shop on Etsy. And also I feel like my customer service has gone through the roof, because I have that mindset now that I go above and beyond, knowing that the expectations don't meet reality in a lot of things that I order online. And now I am in HAA whenever I order anything from Etsy, and it is just an item in a box. I'm always a little bit disappointed, if I'm honest.
Amber asked me the other day, she's like, I want to leave a product a 5-star review, but I don't want to comment because, you know, you have to like leave the review and then it says to enter at least 5 words about it. And she's like, I want to leave the 5-star review because it was a good product and it was described right, but there was no wow factor. They didn't package it. And she's like, how do I just leave a 5-star? Which we did figure out. You can't leave just 5 stars from desktop. You have to write at least 5 words. But you can do it from mobile. So if you want to leave somebody a 5-star review, but they didn't wow you and you don't have any like words to say about the product, you can.
It wasn't an alpha, promise. It wasn't an alpha.
And Dulcie, shoot me an email, support@handmadealphaacademy.com. We'll get you figured out.
Yes.
Boop, 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 ba-doo, doo, doo.
Oh, and also my group would have never had a revival either.
Your group is one of the most active, like, product-based groups out there. And, yeah, I mean, when you let people brag about their pets, they're going to love your group because everybody wants to brag about their pets. Everyone wants to talk about their pets.
And it's a really fun environment as well. It's not super salesy. I make as many jokes as I want. I am obviously a perfected version of me for social media and for the public. I'm not personal me who sometimes doesn't shower and don't brush my hair one day. Not posting selfies constantly. Like I've seen some groups, it's actually quite uncomfortable to see that amount of selfies in a oh, hold on now. I make really stupid jokes. Obviously some of my products have got silly names that people have now actually started coining and will sing instead of the actual lyrics of a song, because it's in their head. And if they buy the card that day, they're singing it in the shower that afternoon because it's in their head. I made a really silly product, which was a tiny portable speaker, and I've called them subwoofers for obvious reasons. People love it because it's a fun environment that they don't have to think too much on. And social media nowadays is full of misery, full of drama, full of people having arguments for no reason. Not to say that it's not the place for it, but sometimes people need a bit of a refuge, a bit of an oasis to go. And if they go into my group, all they see is positivity.
Absolutely. And Rebecca has a great question here.
In your shop banner, you have a title that says 1% Etsy seller. What does that mean?
So if you go into erank.com, and you log in and you sync up your Etsy shop with eRank, it will tell you what percentage of shops you are in your... No, it's not in your region. It's in the world, isn't it?
It's in the world. It is of all Etsy shops.
Because from the date of your opening to today, you will have made a certain amount of sales, and those sales are compared to the rest of the Etsy shops online. There are a few Etsy shops that people open and sell a few things, and then they don't ever sell again, and they just quieten down. So those shops, if you've surpassed them, you might surpass people who are doing like less than you. I was stuck at 8% for so long, and it was just and then one day I checked back in after, I think I saw it may have been Kate McMullen said like, oh, I'm in the top 1%, and I was like, I can't wait for that day. She was like, you must be in the top 1%, go and check now. And I did, and I was like, I am. So
yeah. When you finally hit that point, it's like the best feeling in the world. And for those who don't know, Mark and I do work for erank.com. It is it's our favorite Etsy SEO tool, and it was long before we started working. But
we're not contractually obligated to say that.
Well, we don't get paid for recommending it. So go get a free membership if you want to check it out. There is a basic membership for $5.99 a month that's going to get you probably the best That's my favorite plan for newbies, because you gain access to things like keyword lists. You get lots of search queries to see what people are actually searching for on Etsy. You get access to the Trend Buzz report, which is going to show you the top 100 most searched terms in your category, as well as any of Etsy's other, I think, 18 categories. But yeah.
Good note to end it on, Crappy Crafter. Well, she also said, "Well, those are big pasties. They're for that lady from Resident Evil,
that tall lady
with the BMMs." You know how she said, "You know how rare it is to find a mostly woman community that is actually good vibes only. All the ladies there are so kind and helpful, not toxic or drama every day. We
are not all ladies."
Well, for one, yeah, it's starting to move towards being a more inclusive kind of group, and that's not an intentional thing. It's just that Etsy is more female.
It's 86% women.
It's mostly women.
Yeah.
It's starting to move in the other direction, but the toxicity part of it, we have made it a point since day one to not allow that. You watch any other streamer, and it's just full of like toxic, gross. We just don't want it.
And Etsy groups, too.
We don't, and groups, Etsy groups, forums, Reddits, anything you can think of. Most of it, it's just toxic people who all think they know better than one another. And we try to stick to the science of what we can see. Occasionally there are things that you can't see, but we know work because we've done them and we've watched other people do them. So we teach them as fact until they're proven wrong or they change. And as we keep it that way. And we're always going to keep it that way. Even if it becomes a 50-50 man-woman split, we're not going to allow it to become a toxic community. We want you guys to feel safe. The point isn't to feel safe, but we want people to feel like they're in an environment where they can actually learn without fear of being attacked. And sometimes it does happen. We do have people that will attack other people. And I have a list of like 100 people that are blocked on Facebook for that specific reason. We kick them out. They don't get second chances. We don't give second chances. And it's the same thing here on YouTube, unless it's like a comment below where somebody will occasionally get crappy because they're having a bad day or whatever. We're not gonna put up with that. So always feel safe.
Yeah, we don't let people bully members or make other members feel.
We're all here for the same goal: to be successful, to make money, and to live happy lives. And if you're gonna be toxic, then for one, you don't deserve it, and for two, you don't need to be a part of what we do.
Yeah, I have to say that toxicity is not exclusive to gender. It's just the internet.
It's not.
Yeah, and most of the other Etsy groups that I see are mostly women.
It evolves. It evolves to, depending on what the gender is the type of toxicity. It's female toxicity is a very different type of toxicity from male toxicity, and then when they get together, it's another completely different form of toxicity. So, yeah,
we have a lot of really great like male alphas, like Wes, Mike, I believe, is here, who absolutely dominates on TikTok. I get notifications every time Mike posts a new TikTok. We have so many alphas who do phenomenally well that are guys. We just don't have as many guys because there's not as many guys on Etsy.
Cher said, "Dear God, Mark, that phone has to be a foot long." It's not. It's smaller than my hand. And then hers is a little bit smaller than mine. It's S20 Ultra and the S20 Plus.
Hey, Amber, you know what? We should, because we're going to be doing Alpha of the Year pretty soon for 2021. Amber was 2019's Alpha of the Year, and then Lori was 2020's Alpha of the Year. We don't ever talk about the incentives of winning Alpha of the Year. Do you want to talk about what you got to choose from? That way our new HAA students, if they're wanting to enter this year, they know like what the stakes are.
So the choices were between I think it was a Google Pixel phone.
It was whatever. I think it was whatever phone you wanted. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No,
it was
Pixel?
it was a Google Pixel something. I don't remember.
Whatever
exactly.
the newest one was that year.
Which we won't probably be doing that specific prize again because, God, the figuring out. I ended up not even actually. I'll be fully transparent. I ended up not actually giving the girl a phone. I actually ended up having to. Yeah, ended up having to give her the funds for the phone specifically, because, holy crap, our company's like.
You can't buy a phone for somebody.
You cannot buy a phone for somebody else. You have to have a plan attached to it So I would have had to have add her phone plan onto mine temporarily, buy the phone, ship it to her, and then transfer the account back to her. That's the only way I could have done it. I have no idea how these companies do gifts and prizes, but that was Verizon specifically. I think Verizon was the problem because they have like the specific. But anyway.
All right, Amber. Sorry. All right, so
Tangent.
a Google Pixel or
a Nikon DSLR.
She broke.
It's because I quickly put the lens cap on. Me and Mr. Amber Murray are working on a product that he can print on the 3D printer, which is a plastic. I will get it. It goes on your lens strap, and you can put your lens cap into it when you're not using it.
Love it.
So it will just insert. We're all about fixing problems, and I'm always dropping my lens cap, just like then. Yeah, I chose the camera because it was going to be more useful for me in the long run. I think I had also just got a brand new phone, so I didn't use the phone. Yeah, I love my camera. I use it whenever I need to take photos, mostly of the dog, if I'm honest. Aren't we all like that? We'd just keep taking pictures of our pets. It fills our phone. But yeah, whenever I need to take a photo that I can't just get away with my phone camera, one that I need to edit on like Photoshop and zoom right in, that's what I use, and I love it. I love it to bits. And you sent me a load of other goodies as well. It wasn't just the camera.
Mark did that. I was just like, hey, send Amber like the best DSLR that you can find and some goodies.
Yeah,
and
we try to keep them around the same amount of price. So
I think we usually try to spend
money,
like their enrollment price on their prize.
Usually a little bit more, but yeah.
So that is coming up. Handmade Alpha Academy students, if you have completed HAA, if not, wait till next year. But if you have completed HAA, what we do is we have you submit a video. This year I'm going to make sure they have to be on YouTube, and they have to be... they just have to be on YouTube. They have to be on YouTube, and I'm going to make a specific title for the video. That way I can find them easily, because it's been a pain trying to go through them all. And then basically you're just going to submit a video saying where you were when you started HAA and what HAA did for you, and like your business success story. And then the public, so all of you who aren't in HAA, will get to vote on which story inspired you the most, which alpha you think like busted butt and had the greatest accomplishment. And then that alpha they get their own page in Handmade Alpha Academy to inspire future alphas with a little mini interview. Their video submission will be posted in Handmade Alpha Academy. And whatever prizes we decide to offer this year. I was thinking, how much are Surface Pros? Maybe do a Surface Pro.
A lot more than what we normally spend. Yours was like a pretty astronomical amount of money.
Well, you bought me all the accessories too.
Yeah, no, it's still...
Oh.
It's too much. We'll figure it out. It'll be a camera and something else. I'm not doing a phone this year because it's a nightmare.
We got to find a substitute prize.
Yeah, exactly. And we're not doing cash. I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, just give them their cash back." I'm not doing that. We want to give you something that you need for your business.
Right. The point is that we're going to provide you with a business tool that you would otherwise not.
And the phone isn't something that people would think of, but this particular camera on this phone, and some of the people that are on my Instagram can attest to this. This camera takes better pictures than most DSLR cameras do in the low medium range. If you have a DSLR camera that costs less than $1,000, this has a higher resolution and takes better pictures than it, and it's wild. So Surface Pros are upwards of $4,000. Yeah, these phones are wild. So if I could give people this, yours, I didn't get you that one. I think yours was like $2,700 or something like that.
Oh, well.
And you got me a trophy as well.
And a trophy. Yeah, you get a trophy. You get a cute little trophy.
Wait, I've got... You know what's funny is I have a bunch of trophies that have 2019 printed on them from when we did our live tour. They're different from the trophy that you have. And last year I let Lori choose whether she wanted the trophy that you got or she wanted the one that we give out at live events. And she wanted the other version, and now I feel bad because maybe Amber would have liked the other version. Let me grab one. I've got one right here.
I might leave it open ended. Yeah, like let them pick.
Trophy at all?
Does Amber have her?
Do you have your trophy, Amber?
Yes, but it's going to make the disconnect noise.
Yeah, that's all right.
I thought that it was over here. Maybe it's
Tech issues. Oh, there you go.
Oh, here it is.
Cher said I had a
We're
Canon.
still on a
I had a 70D, which was like a $300 camera at the time, and the newer phones take better pictures than it did. This camera is, God, I forget. Somebody asked what it is. It is a Galaxy S20 Ultra. It is like their flagship high-end phone.
Here's a trophy. So Amber got the bronze full dog or full wolf head, dog head, and this one is like a growling alpha, and your name will be on it. This one just says Handmade Alpha Academy Class of 2019.
Yeah.
But anywho,
Yes.
all right, cool. Well, it looks like we have gotten through all questions. Amber, thanks so much for hanging out. What time is it? It is, oh man, we almost did a 2-hour stream. Sorry, Mr. Amber Marie. We said that we would only steal Amber for an hour.
Mr. Amber Marie asked if we had pay-as-you-go phones. We do have pay-as-you-go phones, but I didn't want to give that as a prize.
Aren't those super cheap here? Like,
Yeah, you can get like a Galaxy S20, but it's like a knock. Like, remember when I was in the military, I had a Galaxy, what did they call it?
Stellar, Samsung Galaxy Stellar.
Yes, yeah, and it was like a decent phone for what it cost, but
It was still like...
we wanted to give people the full-on experience. So what I might do, and I'll think about this a little bit more for you guys that are thinking about signing up for it, I might just do like you get a camera, or like let me know what you want that's in this price range, and I will get it for you, kind of thing. We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out for you guys.
Yeah.
But for now, I think that's probably gonna be it. I'm friggin' starving.
Guys, make sure that you check out Amber's links. I think I got them all. They're linked down below. Go check out her Facebook page. I think her Instagram is in there. I've got her VIP club in there. Only join her VIP club if you're actually gonna, contribute and maybe engage with some of her posts and be respectful.
Oh, I don't mind lurkers because
Yes.
at one point or another they're going to help me with engagement.
That's true. That's true. Just be polite.
Somebody said I'd ask for an iPad, but I know
or comment or like at one point.
Somebody said I'd ask for an iPad, but I know how Mark feels about Apple products. Yeah, I won't give them any of my money. Sorry, guys.
He hates Apple.
I hate Apple as a company. Products are great. Company, trash.
And there are links down below to my swipe file strategy. If you guys want to work on getting more 5-star reviews, 5-star reviews help you rank higher in Etsy search. So those are insanely important. Grab the swipe files, grab the 2021 marketing calendar. That way you can plan your marketing out until December. That's going to tell you good times to launch, good times to hold sales, when to start creating product lines. Handmade Alpha Academy will be opening on June 14th. If you want to sign up for the waiting list, just go to handmadealphaacademy.com. I forgot to link it down below, but if you go to handmadealphaacademy.com, there is a waiting list link on the website that you can join. Don't try to log in because you can't if you're not a student. And Amber and I are working on a little project that we can't talk about because we have...
Why are you talking about it?
Well, we
Because
have...
Alpha Club.
We have things to settle down for Alpha Club. We have things to figure out. But Amber, is there any hint at all that you could offer them as to what we're doing? Do you have any hint that you would like to give them?
I don't know. Do you have any hints that you could possibly give?
There's 121 people watching right now, and we have 50.
She gave a hint.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, if you were just totally oblivious to her.
Oh, oops.
It was a really subtle hint.
Oh. I was gonna say if we could get 100 people to like this video out of the 119 when we have 52 likes, then
Yeah, and we had a peak of like 200, so.
then maybe we could tell them, but I guess they don't want to like this video. They don't appreciate.
And again, that like counter doesn't update, so there might be a lot
Scritches for
more.
bubbers. You gotta like the video. Scritches for bubbers.
Stitches for bubbers.
He's gonna be a lonely boy today.
He's sleeping up there all alone.
Licking him lips.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, Amber. Thanks for hanging out.
She won't disappear when I hit end stream, so.
I know. And we will see you guys next Friday. Mark's got a video to edit sometime this week
I was about
about.
to say, I ain't doing that today.
No, not today. About one-of-a-kind products. So for everybody who's been asking about marketing for one-of-a-kind products, I did make a short video on that.
No, she didn't.
I did.
All right. Love you guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.